Now this has a burst that doesn't have a delay. Alright, so hello gamers and welcome back to another video. So the main Phantom Forces game, not the test plays, just got an update, so make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. 1% of you guys are not subscribed, and you're the one person who's not subscribed, so please subscribe right now because everyone else is, and you will feel left out if you don't. The first thing here is actually there's a new melee in the game, and it's a two-hand blade called the Harvester, and yes, I have it because it's rank 165, so not a ton of people are going to be having this, but as you can see, very cool inspect animation. It's basically like, oh my gosh, this map is back as well. I swear they removed this map, or maybe it's just super rare. It's a two-hand blade that's basically the Reaper from the Halloween event, except only when you swing it or inspect it, which is kind of cool. Inspect animation is great, by the way. I really like this melee. It's great. I think it'll be a pretty cool addition to the game. Probably not going to use it too much, but yeah, there's so many melees already. It doesn't really matter. Next up, we have a lot of different visual and fixes in terms of guns that had some issues before, I guess. So the first one is going to be the front post on the FT300, which feels about the same. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like exactly the same thing, but it looks even more obstructive now. I'm not gonna lie. FT300 irons are a little bit goofy, but the front post is apparently fixed. Maybe that's only with some sites, so if you had a problem with that, there you go. Next thing is a remodel, and keep in mind there is some actual new balance changes, not just visual stuff, so keep watching and like the video. But yeah, the M2011 is now going to be silver instead of pink. Kind of goofy. They changed the inspect animation. I think they did. That looks a little bit different, but maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, you have a new color for this gun, which is a little bit goofy. I hope they add like an attachment to make it pink again. Or I guess you could just buy a customizable skin or a pink skin for this gun and make it how it was before. It's honestly not a bad color at all. The gun looks really good. I just don't like the weird blue receiver on the top. I think that looks honestly terrible. I guess you could just get a skin for that as well. And that receiver thing, it pokes out of the gun already. So I don't know, maybe that's just part of the gun. But next up, we have a really large change to the DBV12, not the default ammo, but everybody's favorite conversion on the DBV12, the 410 conversion. Now this has a burst that doesn't have a delay. Yeah, so you can fire it that quickly. And it doesn't have an automatic mode. It did have an auto mode before, but as you can see, this will be a really weird conversion now. It's going to have that 1000 RPM burst again, which is good, but it should be a lot more balanced. It doesn't have 30 rounds anymore, but keep in mind, it doesn't really have a burst delay, so tons of recoil. But honestly, you could make this really good. And do keep in mind, I am running retracted stock on this, which is not definitely the best thing you can do. I'd say run like stubby grip or something, and then you have pretty manageable recoil. Honestly, this might be, you can get the fire rate down really good. I'm glad that this is back, but yeah, the burst delay thing is kind of an interesting change to it to make it almost better in kind of a weird way. It can't one-shot though, so keep that in mind, but it can one burst, and you can fire really quickly if you can get the RPM down. So it has reduced damage and reduced pellet count. So it has 24 times 3, which means it does about 72 to the body with all 3 pellets. But keep in mind, it does have a 3-round burst. So you're going to be able to one burst pretty easily, be able to kill with 2 out of 3 shots. And do keep in mind, like, you can get the RPM down. It's going to be an amazing close range gun. Really fun. Tons of recoil though. Honestly, not going to be a super great gun overall, but it will be very fun. And I'm glad, because this conversion used to be super fun. I'm glad that it actually doesn't have the automatic mode, because before the burst was like not even worth using. Honestly, every single person I ever talked to about the 410 change on the DBV really didn't like it. It used to be semi-auto. Stupid change, I'm not going to lie. But now, very fun gun. I'm really happy. Like, it's going to be fun to use. So the Kriss Vector actually got quite a few changes to make it actually better in terms of its conversions. I talked about this in the previous update video for the main game. So 9x19 now does 30 to 15. It used to do like 29.2 or something, down to like 14, I think, which was just ridiculous damage. Now it does 30 to 15 again, which is what it should have done. Keep in mind, 15 damage over range, really bad. It is lower than the 45 now, which is definitely a good idea, because before a lot of people were saying 9mm was a direct upgrade to the default ammo. That's actually not true at all, because the default ammo is still a 3-shot kill to the body. You got to keep that in mind. Like, this is a 4. Of course, the TTK is going to be like not that different because it still fires really quickly, but it was definitely a reason to use the default ammo. And now the default ammo does have a little bit more damage overall, 4 more damage up close and 1 more damage over range. Now, it was just kind of goofy because they lowered the damage, but not like the multipliers on the damage that the conversions gave. gave you, if you get what I mean. 357 SIG is now a little bit different, I'm not gonna lie. It does 35 with a 1.15 torso multi and a 1.25 head, so it can't two-shot headshot anymore. It does have a really fast reload time, which is cool, and it can actually 5-hit kill torso all ranges. Not great headshot damage overall. This is going to be less damage to the head than the default ammo, or maybe even 9mm. Maybe a little bit similar to 9mm, but not too much more or less, which is a little bit interesting considering this does have, you know, that extra 5 damage. But the torso multi is going to carry this thing's hits to kill, and the faster reload is going to make it viable. Just keep in mind, you do get quite a bit more kick, but if you want a more powerful, higher damage overall version of the Vector, this is going to be really good because keep in mind, default Vector can't two-shot headshot anymore. 45 Super used to be able to two-shot headshot. Now that can't do that, so this is going to be a pretty good conversion overall. I mean, it does have the extra recoil, as you can see, but the faster reload is really nice. I think it's going to be really, really good now. So the last one is the Kriss Vector 22 long rifle, which has been killed in this update because they did buff the damage. However, they kept it at 24. They actually reduced the damage on the 22 long rifle conversion on the Kriss Vector in terms of close range. It used to do 24.2. Now it does 24. You might be thinking, okay, that's 1 damage. Well, keep in mind, I don't think it has any different multipliers, which is really bad because now it's going to be a 5-shot kill to the body out of 10 because it only has 10 bullets, and yeah, it's not going to be able to two-shot headshot anymore, so there's really no reason to use this anymore. It's completely garbage. It's actually really, really bad now. Before, it could at least two-shot headshot and 4-shot body and had low recoil. Now it's a 5-shot body, so really bad hits to kill, and it has bad hits to kill over range as it did before. Sure, it's got like good recoil, but like not worth it, you know? Like just use any other PDW. MP5 probably gonna have better TTK than this, better damage over range, better hits to kill, very similar recoil as well. MP5 has a lot more velocity as well, but there's really no reason to ever use this. It's a really bad conversion now. Hopefully they fix it though. So next up, we have some of the changes to models as well as a little bit of balancing stuff. So first off, we have the new model on the M231. As you can see, the model is a little bit different. Also, M855 conversion actually got a little bit of a buff. It has a faster reload, but not by a ton. Then we have the Beowulf TCR. The Beowulf TCR got a new model. As you can see, looks pretty cool, a little bit more detailed than before. It also has a little bit of a change in terms of the SOCOM conversion. Okay, that looks about the same, but apparently it's different. Last up, it's a pretty interesting change. A lot of ranks have been reduced for melees as well as the Grizzly and the M2011 as well. The Clementine melee, which is the, I don't know where it is. Anyway, the Clementine is now 3 ranks lower. The Fire Axe is now actually 9 ranks lower. It's rank 141 instead of 150. The Grizzly is now 1 rank lower for some reason. It's 143 instead of 144. The Dark Heart melee is now 5 ranks lower, 145 instead of 150. M2011 is 4 ranks lower, 146 instead of 150. The Strider melee is 147 rank instead of 151, so that's a 4 difference as well. And the HK51B is now level 157 instead of 160. So really not that big of changes. I don't exactly know why they did that, but of course you will be getting these guns a little bit earlier as well as some melees. Melees don't really matter as much, but if you liked any of the melees that I just said, you get those earlier a little bit. That's actually it for all the changes. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, the swap game mode was also added in this update, but it got removed, so hopefully that'll come back. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.